Hello and welcome to Demo Play Thursday. We're on the PS4 with Eve's 10 Nordics. And as you can see, it clearly says it's a demo. What's going to be interesting is if the demo will tell us what gets carried over from the demo to the main game, or what the limitations are. If you go to the PSN store, it does give you some information, but not everyone gets it from the PSN store, so it'll be interesting to see if the game itself will provide us the information. Do you see how it's changing all that? That's weird, but also kind of cool. That's what we got. English, French. Ah, so I have a UK PSN account. So English, French kind of makes sense. Screen brightness. Well, that does pretty good. See battle assist. Ah, make essentially at the bottom right, make the battles easy or not. Make it easier to traverse the world. Okay. And frame rate. Variable. We'll make it go all the way up to 60, or you can lock it to 30. Honestly, I would prefer to lock it to 30. Autoplay, yes, I am going to autoplay. But it says that you can turn it off, which is good. Wow, there are a lot of options here. At least the bottom is giving us information. So many games, when they have a wide range of options, they tend to keep it very vague. There's no picture to see, there's no text to give us information what it means. But at least here, there is enough information. I always turn the sound effect down a little bit. Alright then, so let's start. Ooh, okay, getting some choices here. Fully enjoyed the story. It calls Eve's an action game. Okay, perhaps it's one to be more action based. I'm not a huge... I don't know too much about Eve's games, if I'm honest. So I'm going to hit easy just for the demo, just so we can have some fun. And it said, hey, we can make it easier to traverse. Sure. That's a nice welcoming start. Again, like I say, I've done so many videos where the options are
At the moment of
a
birth,
pain.
each of us is as free as a bird.
Let's watch this
Not a
introduction.
single restraint tying us down. But with age come the varied shackles that bind, clipping away at our wings, feather by feather. In time, we long for a return to the freedom we once knew. But the truth is, we can return to those days whenever we so choose.
Remember, this is the PS4 version of the game, and we've locked it to 30 frames per second. So if you're playing this on PS5, you might get a different experience here.
Is this weather perfect or what? The brisk ocean breeze, the wide open sea, smells like a new journey on our horizon. I gotta say, I'm glad I took you up on your offer, Adel. Being stranded on Asteria for so long was really getting to me.
Huh, okay. We're now playing. Glad I should... yeah.
I'm glad I asked you to come.
Same. This has me even more pumped than all the way back when I first left my hometown. It's been a wild ride since then, but that doesn't make me any less grateful to you.
Considering how much space is on the screen, the text is kind of small.
Dogi, so this is where you two were. My, I never dared dream I'd get to see the actual ocean in person. Even now, it's difficult to believe a vessel this large is capable of floating upon its waves. What manner of sorcery is this?
I guess this is all one big culture shock for someone born and raised on Ys. Dr. Flair here is even giddier than me.
That I am. In my view, being on the surface instead of above it is a miracle in itself. To say nothing of the unprecedented chance it's given me to search for the original strain of Celcetan flower.
Celcetan flower? That's the name of a type of medicinal herb, right?
Sometimes the lips aren't matching what they're saying. It's a little weird to look at.
Indeed it is. I couldn't very well rest on my heels after hearing that's where you two were headed. The prospect of seeing it in its natural habitat was ample reason to climb aboard.
Your get-up and go could put even Adel to shame. But be sure to mind your health, okay? At the rate you're going, you'll end up fainting in sheer bliss the second you stumble onto those flowers.
Well, frankly speaking, that scenario is all but guaranteed.
Well, we won't be arriving in Celceta for a long while yet. Might as well kick back a bit and enjoy the ride.
Celceta, wasn't that one of the other previous Ys games? 8, maybe? It's like, I know of the games. I know this, or I think I know that there's like one protagonist for all of them. This guy. But I've never played an Ys game. Which is probably crazy. Camera's a little slow. So I don't really know the overarching story of Ys. I just know it is famous. It's kind of not as famous as Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, but it's definitely renowned. I always wanted to get 8 on Vita, but it was like full price on the PSN store. I don't remember ever going down in price. And it had such a limited release, it was always expensive to get out. Sure.
Ah, a passenger. Having a pleasant voyage, I hope? You appear to be a seasoned traveler for a boy your age.
Bottom one.
So my
See
hunch
what
was
I mean?
correct. This may be no surprise.
Watching
to
our
you,
mouth move
but
and nothing
we have some
come out
extraordinary
is
sights
weird.
coming up shortly.
It is something I've
What's
noticed
that over there?
in a few games we've played recently.
Mountains?
We've played a lot
No,
of
wait.
RPGs.
I think those are islands.
Attention all passengers. I am your captain, Victor Lasalle. Allow me to express my gratitude to you for sailing with us on the Adamas today. If you look to our left-hand side, you'll find Obelia Gulf, famous for its sprawling archipelago.
Yeah, what we're hearing is happening not exactly a second, but just perceptibly enough before the mouth moves. Unfortunately, because I haven't played these games, I don't
This
know if
current
they
bout
are
of clear weather lets us see the
famous
myriad patches
places
of land,
that we're
both large
being
and
told
small,
about.
that populate these waters. It will be quite some time yet before the ship arrives at our destination in Celceta. So until then, we invite you to bask in this scenic tapestry of blue seas and beauteous islands.
Graphically, there's something
Understood.
a little
Let's make haste.
plain about this. It's the boat. I don't know if there's lacking
My word.
details or
What a
textures or something.
magnificent sight.
Obelia Gulf, huh?
And the characters are
Doesn't disappoint.
almost radiating white
That
light. You
reminds
know,
me,
it's
Adel.
they're so
You
bright
said you were looking
compared
for
to
a
how
Western
dull the boat
archipelago
is.
before you came to
It's a
Asteria,
weird
right?
little.
Is there any chance this might be?
I don't know, just a little weird thing.
Whoa! A little close for comfort, don't you think? How's a guy supposed to take in the sights like this? Hey, Adel.
Yeah, Adol's face had no sign of emotion whatsoever. We're being as plain as this. I kind of wonder if it was a PS4 game first, and then ported to PS5. Well, it looks like we're going to have some pirate action, so this should be fun.
Those who fall with valor shall be ushered into their divine kingdom. Now, shout forth the name of our god!
See, the character models are kind of nice, colourful, bright. So much better than the boats and the clouds and the skies.
Pirates!
Who would have thought they would have been panicking before this? The boat, you could see the boat coming.
We did hire mercenaries.
Shield wall! Charge! Stay behind us, Doc.
Right. Thank you.
We're really interested in saving one person.
You another one of
What about the rest of the people?
Bit on the puny side, ain't he? Sure you know which way to hold that thing, little fella?
What a joke. The big lug behind him would be more worth our time.
Yeah.
Why else do you think? Everybody's got to make a living one way or another. Enough chit-chat. Let's make this quick.
Alright then, we're going to get a tutorial. Circle, normal attacks, R3 lock on. It's so... Having just a picture on the screen is so boring. Games nowadays are starting to use like GIFs, like moving pictures, videos. You'll be able to zoom in and zoom out to see how to do stuff. This is really... I mean, this felt old. Now it's feeling really old and outdated.
How's that?
No way.
Is that blood? Yeah, I saw that stutter.
No way.
I don't know if it's blood or just a flourish that we
How's that?
No way.
did it. Camera really did not want to move on itself. I had to manually move the camera then.
You're in for it now.
You bumbling louts! How long does it take to handle one sellsword trying to play bodyguard?
Our fault, ma'am. The kid's a lot tougher than he looks.
Oh, really? Fine then. I'll take care of him myself.
This might sound not like a compliment, and it probably isn't. But looking at this, it kind of... For some reason, my brain thinks this is meant to be like a Tales game from the PS3 era. That's how, like, one note, one colour the faces are. How bright and bold the costumes are, but how simple everything else is on them. R2 to guard. Okay. I guess an L1 dodge. I think that's what they're trying to say there.
Done saying your prayers?
Evade. Okay, I'm looking on the camera.
How's that?
Okay, lock on with the camera is helping.
Whoa! Here it comes!
Whole lot of fuss for one small fry.
Only one of
Try
those
not to lose that red head of yours,
mouths
kid.
moved. I'm sure the one in the middle didn't say anything.
Princess. I must ask that you stand down. That boy appears to be no more than a passenger.
What?
We have already apprehended the captain. Right this way.
So those are pirates. This is my first time encountering them in the flesh.
Oh boy, we're in a real jam now. Ugh.
Captain Victor LaSalle. I thought we had an agreement. There's a toll for sailing these waters. And you promised never to skip out on it again.
Hold on a moment! This is the last time, I swear!
What's that behind his
Whatever
ear?
you do, just let me live!
See that? Is that a scar?
We both already know how this
Is that going to be
goes.
Shadow?
Any room you had to parley
I think
was
that might
forfeit the
be
minute you
Shadow.
put those mercenaries on your payroll.
Stay your hand, boy. Those are no mere pirates. They're the Balta Sea Force.
Alright, we watched someone die. Interesting start of the game. Here we go. Ooh, the shadows are a little rough, aren't they? Nordics, all I can think of is like THQ. Again, there's something PS3 about this. Like, I mentioned Tales of series, but it also has a bit of a Atelier vibe to it from Gust. Like I say, it feels of a time, and it feels old because of it. And some of the tutorial stuff we had already highlights that. Some of the, like that water, looks really bad. What's that, a giant tsunami coming from the back of the ship there? You see that? It's like a wall, the same colour as the water. There you go. Now there's a bit of green on it. I don't know. I guess I expected a little bit more from a famous series. I guess it's possible that they were aiming for Switch, and PS4 and PS5 versions have been spun out from that. I think this is coming to Switch. It would explain why there's virtually no shadows, and when there are shadows, they're pretty poor. It's like that table just looks like a texture on top of the floor.
I'm stuffed. Guess good eats are a given when you set up town by the ocean. The stuff you get further inland just doesn't compare to fresh seafood.
That aside, it would seem we're going to be stranded here for the time being.
Yeah, who'd have guessed the Adamas was cruising through these waters illegally? Obviously, the captain already paid the ultimate price for that. But I hear they're even seizing his ship as compensation for all those unpaid tolls.
It leads me to wonder what the story is behind this Balta Sea Force. To their credit, they did let Adel loose after determining he was merely a passenger.
Doesn't make those lugs any less high and mighty, though. if they look like pirates and plunder like pirates.
Like Normans, you mean?
Normans, you say?
They're a lawless people from the north with incredible seafaring know-how. Word is, they've looted their way not just here, but across the entire North Sea. Raiding towns, pillaging churches, kidnapping innocents. None of it is beneath a Norman. And the Balta Sea Force makes up just one faction among them.
Sounds like your typical pirates to me. How do they get away with it?
I was given to understand that the entire region of Glia fell under Roman Imperial control.
Rumor has it that not even the Empire would dare to defy the Sea Force. The Normans have had an iron-fisted grip on Obelia Gulf for ages now. Some say that it spares us from suffering under Roman rule, but they don't speak for everybody.
Hey, did you hear about what happened to the Adamas?
I did. Captain LaSalle was treading a dangerous line. He simply reaped what he sowed, if you ask me.
Won't argue with that.
Still, it's hard not to feel for the guy.
Those pirates had no right to waltz in like they owned these waters and demand a toll. Why should any of us have to play along with their made-up...
Shush! I can sympathize, but that sort of talk is best kept to yourself.
Oh, what did I do to deserve being born in Karnak, of all places?
I see what you mean. Doesn't sound like they get the warmest reception around here.
As would be the case in any town, though this one does seem to have its fair share of hardships.
How can we answer that? I'd say it's got a lot going for it. I'm sure it's not all bad. We have no idea. I'm coming into this as playing like my first ever Ys game, and it's expecting me to know everything about this town or city. How are we meant to have gathered from that tiny conversation the state of this town, its woes, its what's going through it, what there is? It's frustrating, and I guess I'm sure it's not all bad, but all is capitalized, so it's like, I guess it's not all bad, kind of like a sarcastic comment.
Now, Adel, though on that subject, there does seem to be quite a bevy of islands here in Obelia Gulf.
The
yes,
doctor
that's
picked
true.
up on the sarcasm.
We locals are so used to the view that it often slips our minds.
That reminds me, Missy. These islands wouldn't happen to come with any unusual myths or lore, would they? Our little group's got a special interest in that sort of thing.
Still waiting
Is
for
that
this
your
game
reason
to
for
give me what
traveling,
the
maybe?
story is.
I can't guarantee there's anything that'll live up to your expectations, but...
I'm wondering if this bit here is when the game's going to open up about what we're actually going to do in the
If
game.
it's run-of-the-mill folktales you're after, I have just the one.
Really now? Do share.
Well, legends tell of what's known as the Sea King's Throne. The throne is said to be hidden away on one of the islands here in Obelia Gulf. Supposedly, whoever finds and sits upon it will have their wishes granted.
Oh, that's some juicy stuff. How about it, Adel? This do anything for you?
I don't know. Sea King makes me think it's going to be King of the Sea, as in the sea. So I'm going to go, I don't know.
Who are you fooling? I can see the giddiness written all over your face.
Hold on a moment. It really is just a story.
Oh, what's the harm? Let them chase their dreams. That's what being young is all about.
Heck, back when I was their age,
Forgive him. He's had a few ales too many, it seems. Say that throne really exists, though. What would you wish for, Rosalind?
Huh? Me? Well, for our humble little business to prosper, of course. What else?
brings a tear to my eye, it does.
Renee must be proud. It's easy to see why you're Rooseveri's poster girl.
Makes me want to spend 3 days and nights drinking this tavern down to its last drop. And I do it all with a smile. The more they rake in the cash, the happier Rosalind gets.
It's a little creepy.
How sweet!
Sweet.
I think you've had quite enough for one day. Our apologies for bothering you, gentlemen.
Nah, that's all good.
Like they mentioned, my name is Rosalind. I'm the daughter of the owners. The three of you are going to be lodging with us tonight, right? If you have any issues during your stay, anything at all, just let me know.
I'm guessing money's not a problem then. You gave me all that I could need already. I don't know. Feels a little creepy.
Of course. Always happy to be of service. Well, I'd better get back to work. Relax and unwind as long as you need.
Such a capable young lady. Reminds me of Lilia back home.
By the way, Adel, I know this Sea King's throne is a big deal and all, but we got some other things to take care of first if we're sticking around.
How?
The travel funds we scrounged up were only enough to get
How
us
have we
to
got things to
Salsetta.
do if this wasn't our destination?
With that in
This
mind,
was not planned.
I plan to pay the local clinic a visit. Upon our arrival, I noticed a flyer that said they were recruiting medical practitioners.
Well, ain't that convenient? Doesn't really solve the issue for us two, though.
Are you youngsters in need of work?
God, everyone's just eardropping on everyone, aren't they?
Got any leads?
Well, both the harbor and the town militia are hiring at the moment. The docks are always short on labor. I'm certain a brawny fellow such as yourself would be a welcome addition. And the red-haired lad is a swordsman, no? The militia's been on the hunt for temporary recruits, I believe.
No joke? That's great! Thanks for the tip!
Seems we have a few promising candidates.
Sure do. Let's get out there and follow up.
Wow,
on
the
once
shadow
we're done
on him on
taking
the
a
left,
load
the
off.
doggy. It's weird. It's almost like he's got stripes. Open the main menu of options, and you can save there. Options. There. Fairly self-explanatory, so I can appreciate that. It's stuff unlocked that we haven't unlocked, which is fine. Equipment circle. Here we had something we'd put here. I'm sure that we'd get to see it. Like if I hit remove. Oh, the sword's still there. But anyway, at least this is understandable. Not flashy, but it gets the job done. But it's weird how we're on a journey to somewhere, and apparently we were going there to do odd jobs or something. I don't know.
Where we split up for
I feel like they could have written that better
Indeed.
into us
I'll be heading to
getting
the
these
local
odd
clinic.
jobs.
I may just take a look around town as well.
Like if the pirates have
Seeing as
stolen
we're
our money,
extending our stay.
make total sense.
Let's aim to meet back
The
up
fact that we
around
don't
dinner
have the
time.
money,
Adel,
even though we paid
guessing
to
you're
go
also
on the
gonna-
trip, makes it sound a little weird. What's that?
Seek me.
Adel, you good?
Strange voice.
A voice? I didn't hear anything. Sure it wasn't just your imagination?
If we're old
There's
friends,
no shortage of noises out here.
surely they should be
Perhaps you
trusting me
mistook one for
first.
somebody speaking to you.
Feels like we're a team that we've been together for a
back to what I
while.
was saying. It's time to start scoping
They
this
just
place out.
dismiss it out of
You
hand.
probably plan to wander the streets a bit yourself before checking in with the militia, huh, Adel? Catch you both later then.
Why would we want to? You made it clear we have no money. What's the point in exploring when we have no money to spend or anything like that? We're actually being told to roam. L1 dash, okay.
I've got to say, the quality of these Spanish leather goods is on a whole other level.
One might say the same of Obelian seafood. Rich flavors, firm to the touch.
Looks like it's another game
simply
with
unparalleled.
reuse
Rome and
of
Hispania
character
may be
models.
at odds right now, but I believe our transaction today has proved mutually beneficial.
To be perfectly honest, our middleman here deserves all the credit for making this deal happen.
That attire? is here.
Well spotted. I am indeed a Norman. However, I find that being a tradesman suits me far better than waving an axe about.
That's good to know. They say Normans are first-class mariners. No doubt their expertise slots in perfectly with mercantile work.
I'm flattered to hear you say so.
It's thanks to the Vita Sea Force that we're still able to do business like this during wartime. They're the ones who make sure ships from both sides can travel these waters safely.
Not having those persnickety Roman officials around to stick their oars in has been heaven sent for us as well. I very much look forward to your continued patronage.
You and me both, pal. And let's not forget to keep our friends from the Sea Force in the loop, too.
On a separate note, Romes, the militia recently informed me that an incident has blocked the highway out of town. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you have an important negotiation to attend in that direction?
Well,
The blonde merchant, the voice.
Gets around fast.
I don't know.
It's nothing
Something
I'm not
almost
aware of.
AI,
In fact,
computerized about
I've
it.
already asked the militia for an
There's
update
something
on the
off-putting
situation.
about that whole
Shouldn't be long
voice. I don't know if
before
it's
they
meant
report
to be an
back.
accent or something, but yeah, it's just unnerving. It really was, just listening to him talk. Can we pet the dog? Oh, there's no pet the dog button. I was kind of hoping our character here, Adol, was going to comment about what he was listening into. Because, really, if you weren't paying attention, that's the whole conversation we listened to makes no sense. It's just them providing a different perspective on the Sea Force and saying that there's stuff happening outside of town that needs to be dealt with. I mean, the game's sort of hinting, hey, there's two sides to this story and
With the red hair.
things need to get done.
Well, here's an unfamiliar face. You must be one of the passengers from the Adamas. Is everything
And how
all
are
right?
we at top of the hill
didn't hurt
and now
you, did
down
they?
here?
Sorry for calling to you out of nowhere like that. We each have a child about the same age as you, so our motherly instincts kicked in.
Honestly, who do those Balta hooligans think they are, wreaking havoc left, right, and center? They impose an exorbitant toll on every vessel crossing Obelia Gulf, and plunder anyone who flouts it.
Some ships, like the Adamas, will try and make their way through without drawing attention. But when they're found out, they wind up like Captain LaSalle.
I guess, why does anyone fight back? Maybe we'll get a different perspective of what's happening.
Because ships that do pay the toll get escorted to safety by the Balta Sea Force themselves. In that sense, they do their part to maintain order throughout the Gulf, which is why the Roman Empire turns a blind eye. When all is said and done, as long as we live here, those brigands' word is law.
There are far fewer instances of pillaging than before now, so we can only assume this is for the best. Still, it would be nice if our mayor could put his foot down every once in a while.
I pity the man. Having to deal with our complaints and the Sea Force's demands has him between a rock and a hard place.
Well, that's what he signed up for when he took on the job. Anyway, you just be sure to stay out of their line of fire.
Okay, so some people are not in favour of the Sea Force. Fair enough. Have a look. There's someone else unhappy. Can we go in these places? No. I can't even get down there. Oh man, should be suspicious, man. So what do you think? Battle Guild? Oh, I can't go in. See if there's anything around this corner. Of course we can't go there. Well, let's check out this red dot. What do you think that is? Shield? What's that got to do with those guys over there? Okay, so this is the local militia.
Oh, you got a job for us? Huh?
Ah, saw him earlier.
Wait a second. Don't tell me. You're here to sign up for the militia, right? Never seen you around before, but I think we're about the same age. The name's Gren. How about you? Idle, huh? Man, oh man, you've just gotta enlist. We could really use a guy like you. Wait, what's with the long face?
I guess it's the pay, because we've got an option there, don't worry about it, where we've had no in-game context for that as an option. We've only had this one, so I guess we have to pick this one?
Ugh. Is that a deal breaker? It did used to be slightly better for what it's worth, but the mayor slashed our budget in order to keep the militia from being overfunded. When the Balta Sea Force says jump, he asks, how high? It's pathetic enough to drive you to tears.
I mean, we have to join. We need the money. The game was made clear earlier. We don't have money. Apparently we're going somewhere with no money in, so I have to join up.
You mean it? I knew I liked you for a reason.
If we had to mull it over, what was the game going to do? They have to funnel us back to this point. This is clearly the key story point.
Call it a hunch, but I've got a feeling you and I are going to be fast friends. Calling all youths. A career in the Karnak militia awaits you.
Yeah, cheesy.
Seek me. This way.
Find the voice. Sure, but look how small that is on the bottom left there. All this space.
Seek me. Right here.
It's that shell, isn't it?
Find me.
Remember from earlier in the video where it went underneath the boat? Yeah. How do we know Leela shell? Is Leela a name of a person, or Leela the name of the sea creature that lived in that shell? Well, no, it just says there's a conch shell. So how do we know it's Leela? Like if the... I don't know. How would this thing sneak in? You would have thought people around would have shouted and screamed. The militia guy might have come run over and helped. Defeated. Like, why was anyone like ringing bells? Monster attacking! Monster attacking! is this weird enough to grab my attention.
Swordsman. Can you hear
But the wolf
me?
looks like it's got much more detail and texture on it. Compared to our face and compared to the wolf's face. The wolf's face looks much more interesting.
Bestow you mana. Enough power. Defeat.
We're not gonna get a cinematic in screen, are we? No. Again, it's just text on the screen with a picture. After being spoiled by the game that had like video or moving pictures, and there's one that you could zoom in. What was that? Was that a metaphor? I don't think it was Romancing Saga. But, you know, it's just because I've had games do it so well recently. This again, it was old by the PS3 generation, you know, and now it's still here. Why has it brought me here? How do I assign a skill? Wait, I had to physically press R1 and circle to get it up. I pressed R1 and X and it didn't do it that time. Wait. R1, X. Oh, so I just need to press circle on these things. Fine. I was fully expecting something big and flashy to appear on screen by pressing R1, but nothing happened. It's already on the screen.
I'm sorry. I don't any details. My name, Leela.
See, now we can call it the Leela shell.
Are you? Adel. Search Island. Come find help.
Yeah, that one seems fine.
In go.
Are we the player meant to know that, or like from the previous games, or not? Well, we come to 45 minutes, and the point of Demo Play Thursday isn't necessarily to finish the demo. This demo, the PSN store said it's, I think, the first 3 chapters. So we're going to play at least the first hour.
As for this
Maybe a little bit more if there's some twist or some interesting story beat, but let's pick. Too early to know.
Well, of course it is. You only just got it a little
Yes,
while
the point
ago.
with the Demo Play Thursday
That
isn't
wolf
to
you
finish
fought
the
that just
demo.
wouldn't die has me hung up too. I
If you
talked
do,
up a storm with the
feel
guys
free
down
to
at the
talk about it in the
docks.
comments.
None of them mentioned anything close to that.
It may well be that something is actively unfolding as we speak.
The Balta Sea Force, Mana, an undead wolf, and a girl named Leela. Doesn't seem to tie in with that Sea King's throne we heard about earlier either. It's just mystery after mystery around here. You know what that means.
I guess we'll say we have to wait.
That's one way to put it. Sorry to hold you up like this, Dr. Flare.
Oh, not at all. It was you who allowed me to come along for the ride to begin with.
Alright, makes it come across as selfish, doesn't it?
Has no intention of leaving for Celceta as long as something's afoot.
almost that kind of
Nothing like a little intrigue to
stubbornness that
spice up a
Goku
trip.
has, you know?
Finding that girl's gonna be a tall order.
Everyone
though.
around them have
Skull's
to
got more islands than you
just
can shake a stick
run
at.
along with it because
The
how
first step is to gather
that's just who they
information.
are.
You'll also be
Selfish,
in the ship.
a little
I'll
idiotic.
put my new job down at the harbor to use and poke around for some intel.
As for myself, the Azrat Clinic has hired me on as a temporary physician. I'll see if I can't find someone in town who's willing to lend us a hand.
Sounds like a plan.
I wonder if we're going to be
Let's kick
playing
things
like
off
mini
first thing
games
tomorrow
now.
morning, Adel.
Like mini games to do the jobs. Wow, the banding on that night sky was terrible. It's like circles of colour. I guess we have no choice. So what's the point of messenger log and adventure journal? What's the difference, do you think? Let's do message log. So story, okay, and down. Story and people. See, why can't the game look like that? Well, it told us to head to the HQ. What was I going to say? It wants us to go and explore, and then this actually just tells us, no, don't explore. Go here instead. Someone sent me mail? Yeah. And that's all they wrote. Why couldn't that be seen on screen? Why couldn't we have just read that over his shoulder, you know? Yeah, I'll check it out, sure, why not? I imagine it's going to be the princess. Remember, that's what they called that lady pirate? Ah, she's going to need rescuing, isn't she? Take care too? We didn't even say that to her. Yeah, because the letter never said a time for meeting on the beach, did it? Ah, autosave, bottom right. Oh, the character moves really weird when dashing. Oh boy. That jump's huge though. Told ya. Bit predictable. Yeah, bottom one.
Well, sorry to disappoint. There's something I need to double check. You're probably full of questions, but I'm in no mood to explain. Just think of this as us picking up where we left off yesterday.
Fair enough.
I don't take orders from you.
Well, these cannot be defended. the thing is, we haven't been taught how to defend. We've been taught how to evade. But I don't remember the game teaching us about defending. So I have no idea how to do that. She was just stand there and talk, let us hear her.
Power of mana. How'd you get your hands on it? You didn't use it back on the Adamas. I could say that much.
How we haven't used it? And now he's trusting her, even though she's done nothing to earn that trust. And our interactions with her have given no hint that we trust her anyway.
Mana, on the other hand, is my people's concept of a formless power. Imbued in a sword, it brings forth victory. Imbued in a vessel, it grants safe passage. Only those chosen by the All-Father Har are able to wield it. Out of the Sea Force, that list starts and ends with me and my old man.
How do you obtain it? Yeah.
And just why should I tell a louse like you? Blood and thunder. Grieger. Hardly. Most times they skulk around out of sight. Put a Grieger down with just any old weapon, and it'll rise back up again and again, wounds fully healed. Mana is the only thing that can slay him for good.
Oh, it's more than.
Well, aren't we popular?
Well, that was weird.
What was that just now?
It took a little too long for that picture to load then. So join attacks. Wait, not attacking while in duel mode will place you in the dual guard. I don't understand that. Because if we're not in dual mode, can't we just attack normally? Alright, demo. I have no idea what's happening here. I'm getting no frames. Just trying to get out of the way. Let's hold dual mode until what happens. I have no idea what's happened here. The music is still fine. So that's a flashy attack. This duo mode doesn't seem to have a time limit either. I can't see anything counting down. And it fixed itself, whatever the issue was.
What in hell did you just do to us?
Didn't do anything.
At least now I have a good grasp on what I was sent to investigate. We're finished here. So long.
Yeah, that one.
And what would I gain by answering them? I'm a Norman. A pirate. One false move, and you might be my next kill. Can't handle that? Then pack your bags and see yourself out of Obelia Gulf. Son of a...
Huh. I guess we're stuck together now.
Handcuffs? Made of mana? You! What did you pull this time?
That wasn't me.
Guess not. This mana doesn't seem to be coming from either of us. It's stuck tight! Hey, quit gawking and help! This spells trouble for us in more ways than you can count. Either we get these off, or I'm sending you back with one less hand. Got that?
It's a shame we're just getting a black screen here. We're getting no text, no comic book images, you know? Feels like there were options and they chose the cheapest and easiest.
No luck.
Even just a
Might well
big
be a curse of some
screen
kind.
of concept art of them
Hate to say
doing
it,
something would have been
but
nice.
My old man's probably the only person we can turn to at this point.
Yeah, where is he?
Couldn't even begin to guess. What a mess. They call you Adol, right? We'll have to stick together for a while. Unless you fancy me lopping you off at the wrist.
Yeah, I'd say I'm happy.
Nothing phases you, does it? My name's Karja. Karja Balta. Daughter of Grimson Balta, Jarl of the Balta Sea Force.
Sure, let's be a smartass.
Already put two and two together, eh?
Especially when they addressed her as princess.
No time to waste. I'm off to report in at the Balta Sea Force's command post. It's over by the harbor, so don't fall behind.
I'm guessing it's that building we saw over there, yeah. So she is meant to be leading us there. She said she was going, and we have to follow her. And now the game's going, nope, you have to do it. Will she follow? I don't see the tether. So a part of me wants to try and test it out if we can put a distance between us. Oh damn, we can't jump up on there. Can she run?
Hey,
weirdly.
Don't stray too far. You've taken enough tumbles for my liking. Wonder...
Yeah. Why wasn't that voiced? Yeah, for someone who wasn't keen on answering our questions, she's answering our questions. Whoa, you see that?
Hey, Princess. Back already? Who's your plus one?
Iskanarin, I have a report to make.
Yeah, I'll go get him for you.
Not every day you see the princess bring in someone from the straight and narrow. You her little boy toy now, or what?
Not a chance.
Should've figured. She'd never go for a shrimp like you. Wait a sec. Wasn't that swordsman she threw down with on the Adamas also?
Hey, what are you
Also
whispering
what?
to him about?
Redhead?
Just making small talk.
I swear.
What seems to be the trouble, Princess?
Ah, it's him again.
Gunnar, how many times do I have to tell you to quit calling me that?
He almost looks like he's from Monster
Who might
Hunter.
this boy be?
He's
That
the
Capcom
swordsman
game
Grimston
series.
told me to look into.
A request from the Jarl. Ah, now I remember. He was a passenger on the Adamas. I see. So we have here not only a mana wielder, but a pair of mystical shackles. What's more, the latter has rendered you unable to separate from the former.
That better not be a smirk I see.
Not at all. This isn't humorous in the least.
That's side-eye.
It
Pretty
is,
cool.
however, exceptionally unusual. Only the Jarl can make the final call here. Unfortunately, he is currently out at sea on an expedition. We do not expect him back until tomorrow.
Tomorrow? And just what am I supposed to do until then?
With all due respect, Princess, I must ask that you spend the remainder of your day here in Karnak.
What? But why?
It wouldn't do to have a non-shield brother accompanying us, for one thing. This may even be to your benefit from a certain perspective.
Oh, careful. How are you going to put that
A better
across?
chance to familiarize yourself with how those under our rule live and think. I believe you're at an age now where such matters ought to be considered.
Yeah, I think that's fairly put
Not
across.
to mention, it is possible for this turn of events to be grossly misconstrued.
In what way?
There are those who would be only too pleased to regard this as a scandalous affair on your part. We have no need to voluntarily provide them with issues to raise at the Thingstead.
All right already. I get the message.
Adel, was it? My apologies for giving you a fright on the Adamas. I am Gunnar, War Chief of the Baltus Sea Force.
Sure.
I'm recalling you correctly then. Your battles aboard the Adamas were
Battles?
very impressive. No doubt you have many thoughts on the
Hey,
subject,
we had
but collaboration is a
one?
must if you want any hope of resolving this. We Normans have our ways, some of which may run counter to your own. Nevertheless, I would ask that you work in concert with her and us until we manage to set you two free.
Sure.
Good. I appreciate the understanding. I will notify you as soon as the Jarl returns, Princess. Until then, travel with Adel and mind what he says.
Don't you have that backwards, Gunnar? Why are you so trusting of him anyway?
That you feel the need to ask is all the more reason to make use of this opportunity. The boy is, if nothing else, accustomed to travel. I expect he will be very accommodating.
Wonder if we're famous.
I had best return to my duties. Take care. I leave the rest to you, Adel.
So I am going to end it there, because quite frankly I'm bored. Plus, we're also an hour in. So, Eve's 10, Nordic. Oh wow, it's old. That's the overwhelming feeling I get from this game, is that it's old. The way it does tutorials is old. The storytelling is old. The way the characters look, not just the design in general, but the graphics of it, old. And that's why I'm starting to think it must have been made on Switch first, or with Switch hardware, and then ported up to the PS4 and PS5. Because so much of it looks so plain and boring. Like in the inn, you had the floor, and it looked like the table was just a sticker on top, because there was no shadows anywhere to hint that the table was on top of the floor. So, yeah, storytelling. We've already had instances in the first hour where what we've done doesn't match what the story is in the game. Just then with that guy, he said, battles on the boat. What battles? you know? So, graphically, it looks old. It feels old to play. The story doesn't match what's happening. And there were people really raving about the battles stuff in this game. And you really have to do the battles with the lock on because the camera just doesn't want to play at all. And there's no story. We got mysteries, but what is the overarching story here? Why were we on the boat to somewhere? Why isn't that so important? We were on the boat going there, it must have been important. Why isn't that like the overarching story? Why did we have no money? Oh, I don't know. If you get this game and you play beyond this hour that I have, please, in the comments, let me know if it ever makes sense. It could be that in hour 2, everything is fine. But as a first hour, as an introduction, as a demo, I don't think it puts the game in a good light. It's not a great introduction. It's not a great way to play the game. So yeah, honestly, I do not recommend playing the demo for ease. I don't think if you're gonna get the demo, play all of it. This one first hour, it's not great. And this is a much longer demo, it's 3 chapters. I would recommend playing all 3, because maybe it'll make more sense, maybe it'll feel more cohesive. But as it is, right now, after playing this hour, I don't want to play the game. And it's, yeah, I really wanted to have this be like the ease, the one that will finally get me to jump into the series. And I've played this demo, and I feel like I don't know anything, and that the game's talking to me, or talking at me like I know, or should know, things. So even that is unwelcoming. Oh well, here we go. Feel free to comment about it, if you agree or disagree, if you've got past experience, you understand what's happening, or if you know what's going to come later in the story. That'd be really interesting to know. But until the next Demo Play Thursday video, or until I see you checking out some of the other videos, playlists, shorts, or even live streams we do, or maybe I'll see you over at Ko-fi. As a small YouTube channel, we get no money from YouTube, but with Ko-fi, we can get donations, including PayPal donations, and there are also a couple of subscription tiers as well. But wherever or whenever I see you again, please take care.